So let's start with my hands-on impressions of Fallout 76 Beta. Except, I can't, because there is none. Although I had access to the PC and PlayStation 4 Beta, I encountered issues with both of them. On the PC side, I downloaded the game, I got ready to play it, and then I realized, oh wait a minute, it's not there. It decided to delete itself. It was on some Inspector Gadget self-destruct kind of shit. And so I'm like, you know what, not a big deal. I have it installed on the PlayStation 4. It's ready to go. Let's just go over there, jump in, and try to make the best of it. Only to be met with an error telling me that I did not have permission to participate in this beta when I clearly did. I guess some people had zero issues. They were able to jump in right away. I don't have that kind of luck. If there are some sort of issues to be encountered, I'm more than likely going to encounter them, because that's just the way it is with me and my luck. Now, when it comes to PC, I could have downloaded a megaton of files again, but it was getting late. I was already taking time out of my day, or I should say night, to play this motherfucker, and I'm like, I'm all set with this, you know what I mean? Especially when you have games like Red Dead 2 sitting inside your console waiting to be played. Taking a break from that to deal with this nonsense? No thank you. Especially considering that most of us that don't have fucking blinders on have a good idea what to expect with this game. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what kind of an experience you can expect based on much of the gameplay footage we have seen thus far, combined with this shit show of a beta. Well, let's just say that was the cherry on top when it comes to definitely not buying this day one. Let's just say that. There is one good thing that comes out of this disaster of a beta, and that is there will be less gameplay videos up on YouTube of this tragically unoptimized mess of a game. For the people saying things like, dude, it's just a beta, you're an idiot. Well, I beg to argue. The idiot is the person that assumes they're actually going to be able to fix all this shit in a matter of weeks. They have had years to optimize their games, more specifically, their engine. So you're telling me issues such as terrible performance and things of that nature, stuff they haven't been able to fix over several years, they're going to be able to do so over the next couple of weeks? Yeah, that's reasonable. Now, of course, when I say they can't fix it, what I'm really saying is, of course they can. They're not some tiny little indie studio, okay? They have a lot of resources they can work with. And if they couldn't figure it out, they could actually hire a team that could. But if you continue to buy these subpar experiences, horrendous frame rate, buggy, glitchy pieces of shit, well, why on earth would they spend resources to fix that when you're going to buy it anyway? That would be considered to be a waste of money. They are putting out the bare minimum that they know you're going to gladly accept, and then rinse repeat. Until you actually start saying, wait a minute, I want something better. I want something that's going to actually fucking run smoothly. I want something that's not going to give me game-breaking bugs and shitty glitches. I want something that actually plays and feels like Fallout, not something that slightly resembles it. Until you're actually able to communicate this with them, and by that I mean shutting your wallets, well, say goodbye to your beloved franchise, and say hello to them abusing and exploiting their brand at every corner and turn possible. Because let's be honest here, it appears that a lot of these companies are trying to cut the story out, because I assume it's kind of expensive, all that writing, voice work, and things of that nature. The issue, for me anyways, is that I feel they cut a little bit too much out. Crazy thing is, in my opinion, we all know that when it comes to Fallout games, the combat doesn't feel that great. The character movement overall isn't fresh, doesn't feel intuitive or anything like that. It's serviceable, kinda clunky. I mean, in the year 2018, I think every first-person or third-person shooter or game should allow you to mount things, instead of just jump. Anyways, the point is, we were willing to deal and put up with a lot of mediocrity for the sake of experiencing other parts of the game that we appreciated and enjoyed. things like the discovery and interaction of interesting NPCs and companions you meet throughout your journey. Those parts are no longer there, and we're left with mediocrity. Now, they claim this is just the start. This is just the beginning. What you see isn't necessarily what you're going to be getting. This is not the finish line. More content and things like that are going to be added over time. Now, where do we hear talk like that? In the gaming industry. Where have we heard that before? Early access. We hear that kind of rhetoric with early access titles. This is not an early access title. This is a full-fledged AAA game with a full-fledged, full-fat retail sticker. Now, if this is acceptable to you, then go for it. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you how to spend your money. Do what you gotta do. But don't you dare tell me or others that we're not real Fallout fans if we don't get behind this. Because I feel like if you are a real Fallout fan, you're going to push this as far away as possible and demand better. Because we know the possibility of this franchise. We expect it to grow. We expect them to innovate. But that innovation, in my opinion, has come to a screeching halt. And the only way to get those gears moving again is for you to not buy this game. For people saying, see, this is what happens when companies try to take risk and do something new. This is just a one-off and all this other shit. Listen, the bottom line is this. They're a business, they're a company, and they're attempting to spend less money and resources and time with the hopes of making just as much or hopefully more back. And in the world of capitalism, that's awesome. But in the world of consumerism, as far as a gamer is concerned, it sucks because they're saving money and cutting corners on parts of the game that we like. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that this, one of the games that they have spent the least amount of time on when it comes to a full-fledged AAA experience for turnaround, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's a coincidence that this happens to also be one of the most lukewarm received titles, but who knows. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Hope you're having a good one. Take it easy.